ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Heavily Contested Podcast, the podcast where
we have breaking news!
Go ahead, you got it.
Deshaun Watson, after a long-waited debate, where is he going?
For almost a whole year now. Actually, more than a year now.
More than a year. After all the allegations, after everything, he cleared them up. Now he still has a little bit more he has to go through.
Yep.
But he will be returning to the NFL. When he returns, he might get a suspension, we don't know. Panthers, Falcons, Saints, and the Browns were all in it.
All in it.
One team got taken out. Another team got taken out. And it was left at the Falcons and the Saints. Deshaun Watson said, you know what, I'm not going to either of those teams. Bring back the Browns. I'm going to Cleveland, Ohio.
And the craziest part about all this is the fact that apparently the Browns are the first team that he waved off of the Big Four. Apparently he said they informed the Browns that he would not be waiving his no trade clause, and then it was coming down to the Falcons and the Saints, and now it just got announced that Watson has switched back on that decision to go back to the Browns.
Allegedly. Now the weird thing about this is because there's a no trade clause, there's a lot of extra things that have to go into it. So showing that he changed his mind. What if he changes his mind again, like Zadarius Smith has already done? Somebody else has already done in free agency.
I get that. No, I get that. Big time. But the difference is with this one is that the contract was already guaranteed coming out of this. You know, they're going to break the bank with Deshaun Watson with a 5-year contract coming into Cleveland. And apparently the rumor is now, stay on my phone because I want to keep updated with the situation as it goes on. Because we just heard this right now. We're about to go on. Funny enough, we're about to do a skit about Baker Mayfield and the drama that was created with the failed attempt of getting Deshaun Watson. We're going to make a joke on that. Quite literally, as we're about to kind of go on the set, Deshaun Watson just announced that he's getting traded to Cleveland and there's no trade clause. So here's the contract. 5 years, $230 million. A lot of it guaranteed too. It's the most guaranteed money apparently.
Now, he's going to an organization that's been trashed over the past couple of years. But they're a little step further ahead than the Texans.
Yeah.
They have some assets. They got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
Just got Amari Cooper. Myles Garrett as well.
Yep.
So, you know, he can actually make some noise over there.
No, he can. Remember, of all the 4 teams, they were probably the best one.
They were the team that could have the best chance to actually win. They're also in a division that's not that strong.
Well, they do just have the defending AFC champions there in the
They do.
Bengals. And they still have the Ravens. So it's a good division. But, I mean, when you really think about it, complete teams, especially with the way Cleveland's been hyped up, we expected a lot more from Cleveland this past season. And then, you know, the injuries and, you know, many of the inconsistencies coming from the quarterback position especially. And now they come and make a big move. They get Amari Cooper. They have some young talent receiver. They re-signed David Njoku as well. You know, they had Nick Chubb already. And they have a solid O-line. So, oh my God. The Kansas City Chiefs are signing Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh my God.
We'll talk about that one next or later. But there's a lot going on. We decided to wait till Friday because we thought we'd get our timing right here. And it turns out it's happening. So what do you think about this Deshaun Watson trade, though? Is it a good move for both sides? When you think about it. Because it's 3 first-round picks, a 3rd and a 5th, I believe, is what I'm hearing so far.
It's definitely a good move. But for the Browns, this is the thing I would say. I actually got to take back what I said. I thought that they were in a completely different division. The Browns, even with Deshaun Watson, I don't think that they're that good of a team to invest your entire future into.
Really?
It sounds crazy to say, but I still think they're a couple pieces away from being at that level. Now, obviously you have Deshaun Watson, you got other players. They have huge players that are at the top of their positions. And Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, and Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I just need another one of those receivers, those ball catchers, and then I'll be completely satisfied with this team. Now,
so you don't think like guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones, Anthony Schwartz, you know, the young receivers, you know, developing, you don't think they're enough?
I don't think that's enough. I take back what I said. The Bengals, you got to play them twice a year, and you got to play the Ravens. I think that's a tough matchup, no matter who you got on your team. Now, I think that they did make themselves a lot better. They've had struggles with Baker Mayfield. I just think I wouldn't have gave up my entire future for it.
I'm going to have to wholeheartedly disagree. Obviously, they got rid of the legal issues, which is kind of the big thing right there. Mm-hmm. I would like to think that Deshaun Watson is a smart enough guy now to learn from his mistakes, obviously. And I also think that when you have a running back like Nick Chubb, a receiver like Amari Cooper, young talent, I have been talking about Donovan Peoples-Jones for a while. I think he's a young, strong talent in this league. And now I think you're giving him just one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Deshaun Watson, when he was playing, was a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Hell yeah.
So now you're giving him that. Those receivers, those young receivers are going to develop much, much faster than they usually do because they have a guy like Deshaun Watson. Then you, on defense, while there's still some missing pieces, that's why I think the more missing pieces are on the defensive end, you still have Myles Garrett. You still have Denzel Ward. And the thing is, they didn't get rid of any players, according to the thing. It's only trade picks.
Yep.
So you still got your guy, John Johnson, We were talking about him possibly being put into the trade. You still keep your safety. You still keep Denzel Ward. You still keep Myles Garrett. You still keep some of these core players. Not to mention the fact that you just got Deshaun Watson. There are guys who are still out there in free agency that might want to come to Cleveland. This was a great move by Cleveland. Obviously, there was issues with Baker Mayfield and their relationship. And while I have defended Baker Mayfield saying, especially for this past season, I do believe there was a lot of injuries too that affected his play. I don't think he's as bad as people say he is. You still can't deny that this is a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
Now,
if the Baker Mayfield trade, they get a little something for that, I'm completely for this trade.
That's the thing. They can still trade Baker Mayfield, who wants to go to the Colts. The Colts might get. Here's the thing too, Baker Mayfield's still young enough and has still shown enough promise to where this could still pull in an asset like a second-round pick, a third-round pick. Then you kind of get those picks that you just gave up back a little bit, and drafts are really won in the late rounds. Yeah. So just because I've really grown to respect a fifth round and the value of a fifth and a sixth-round pick, especially as a Niner fan, like George Kittle's a fifth-round pick. Fred Warner's a fifth-round pick. Two of the best players on our team right there. Deebo Samuel's second-round pick. I'm just talking about this from the Niners' perspective. You could go to other players, Kamara, a third-round pick. The draft is really won in the later rounds because obviously there's more picks in the later rounds. But that's where you find the sneaky guys that you could get on a cheap deal early in their rookie contract that can make that big difference. You're going to get those assets for Baker Mayfield. Right here, I have to say, and it's funny saying this because I was just about to say a trade that we're going to get to right after this, probably immediately after this. I was going to say that trade was the best trade in the whole league this year, so far in the free agency. But this is the best trade. This is the best trade. Nothing beats the value of a good quarterback. And not just a good quarterback, a great quarterback. This is a guy who was on track to be a Hall of Famer. And now he's only had 1 year off. Imagine a year to rest, probably, with all the beatings he's taken in Houston with the bad O-line he's had, right? Now he's back. He's in Cleveland working with a better O-line, a better team overall. Amari Cooper, remember, is only 27 as well. Yep. He's got young talent on that team. It's not older talent. No, this is the best trade that the Browns could have possibly made. It's the best trade in this free agency so far.
Now, yeah, I do agree that the Browns did get their team a lot better. A lot better. Not just a little bit upgrading for Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield goes for at least a second-round pick, my entire mindset for this trade is amazing. Mm-hmm. But if you go for less than that, now I'm a little questionable because you gave up a lot.
Okay, I get that. I can understand that a little more. It does rely a little bit on but the fact that you still have Baker Mayfield to trade still says a lot about it.
It does say a lot.
And you keep your players. You didn't have to give up 3 firsts and then this extreme, like maybe you had to throw in Denzel Ward or John Johnson. You had to throw them in because...
Like the Broncos gave up Noah Fant and the defensive
Exactly. That's why the Broncos trade was a little like, oh man, like, you wish they could have kept Noah Fant. Mm-hmm. That would have been a big one right there. So that's where I think the Browns won the trade a little bit. Sure, could the picks... Houston could still win this trade, of course, if these 3 first-round picks and these other asset picks that they got...
It turned out amazing.
All of them, right? But that's the thing. Draft picks are a little more unknown than a guy like Deshaun Watson, who we've seen play in the league now for about 3 to 4 years, and we know is a top 5 quarterback in this league. So they're getting a guarantee versus a couple picks that could have, and with Cleveland's history, especially with the Baker Mayfield for the first example, could be very iffy.
Yeah.
This is a move Cleveland needed to make. I'm glad they did it. That shakes up the league. Talking about another league shaking move, and you want to take it away because I just want to say, I chose not to believe him. I thought he was crazy. I called him a madman. And now here he is. Go ahead, Travis. Take the reins.
Oh my gosh, I've been so excited about this. I was looking at my phone. I was at work. I look at my phone, and Davante Adams. Oh man, I love you, man. Welcome home, Davante. Honestly, you looking at the Raiders for the past couple of years. We had Amari Cooper and Michael Crabtree for a while.
Yeah,
that's the best receiving core we've ever had. They're two number 2 receivers at the time. Amari Cooper wasn't really established. Michael Crabtree was kind of known as not really being a number 1 either.
Yeah.
This is the best player that Derek Carr will have. And what this does, it's 50-50 for the Raider fans. There's Derek Carr haters, Derek Carr lovers. I'm kind of in the middle.
You're in the middle.
Yeah.
But I'd say, as of recent, Travis, don't lie to yourself. You have been leaning a little more to a hater standpoint. Yeah. You did want him gone this offseason.
He has been a little trash. I wanted somebody else. But I also did not want Davante Adams for a while because I wanted us to make other moves. Now that we've made other moves and we got Davante Adams.
And it was a good trade, too. I think it's still...
We kind of fleeced the Packers.
Low key. I was about to say, I think it was a fleece. A first-round pick and a second-round pick this year.
That's
it. For the best receiver in the league, and maybe it just shows how much the league really values receivers compared to like quarterbacks and stuff, which I still think is dumb. A guy like Davante Adams, you got to get more than that, man. You got to get more than that. If you're Green Bay, you have to get more than that.
And also you got to think about Aaron Rodgers. This is the thing I got to say about Aaron Rodgers. You're selfish, man.
Thank you. I was about to say that.
There's no way that you didn't know that if you took that $50 million, that Davante Adams isn't coming anymore.
I said this too. I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to say it. I don't understand Aaron Rodgers anymore. So are you coming back for the money or are you coming back to win?
He's coming back for the money.
Exactly, because how valuable is a win then? I was thinking about this when he got the contract. I said, if Aaron Rodgers is going to come back to the Packers, the smart move for Rodgers to make would be Tom Brady is getting paid, he's been getting paid $20 million a year as a quarterback, when we know Tom Brady damn well should have been the highest paid quarterback throughout his entire career almost, right? But he's been getting those low contracts because he values championships and being able to build a team around. We just saw Tom Brady coming out of retirement. That's another big talking point. Tom Brady coming out of retirement. And then, him being able to bring in guys, he takes the lower contract so that he can get those big-time players to support his team.
That's why he has so many rings.
Exactly. Aaron Rodgers, on the other hand, takes that big $50 million a year contract with a team that's already dead in the cap space.
And they got rid of Davante Adams. Now, there is speculation that Davante Adams was offered more money by the Packers than he was for the Raiders. But now that you didn't get Davante Adams, how much money do you have to go get somebody?
Yep, you still can't get anyone in free agency.
You really got to settle for these cheaper receivers because you don't really have any. They don't even have MVS. Yep. Scantling.
They had to lose Zadarius Smith, one of their best pass rushers.
Yep.
They're lucky to even keep half of that secondary right now. They're getting lucky with that. Sure, they get the first-round pick, and I imagine they're probably going to try to go for a receiver in that draft pick, for that first-round draft pick. But it's still a very selfish move from Rodgers. But that's not the point.
The big thing, let's go back to the Raiders. Now, alongside Davante Adams, we got Derek Carr, right? We also have Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow.
Yep.
This makes it the best offensive unit that Derek Carr has ever had. There's no excuse. We still need an offensive lineman. We need a couple offensive linemen, actually. But there's still time to go do that. There's no excuse after this Derek Carr. There's no excuse.
Nope.
So if you have a bad season, I'm 100% on the hater side. Everyone has no excuse to ever say anything good about Derek Carr.
No, there's no excuse. This isn't Henry Ruggs.
No.
This is the best receiver in the league, arguably. Cooper Kupp did make his case.
But if Devontae Adams played in the Super Bowl, he would be the number one receiver.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty much, at this point, I'm so happy we finally got a good player on our team. The Raiders haven't had a trade where we got someone good in a long time.
Yeah, making a move like that, I guess.
We got Antonio Brown.
You drafted well.
Yeah.
In many occasions, Darren Waller's a big one. You know, you've gotten those guys.
Yeah.
But have you gone out and gotten a pickup like that? No, you have not.
Not in a long time. And we also got Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones, obviously, he's getting up there in age. He also only finished the season in 16 games, had 5.5 sacks. But in that first game...
And he had 5 sacks in the first game. So that was saying a lot about how that season really went for him.
Yeah, so obviously he still has it in him. So he has the potential to be the Chandler Jones that we always know.
And also I want to mention for why that Chandler Jones trade is good is because he has Max Crosby on the other end. Mm-hmm. Chandler Jones isn't the number one anymore like he was last year on the Cardinals. No. He's not getting that number one attention. That goes to Max Crosby, who you just solidified in a contract as well. Chandler Jones should succeed more on this Raiders team. In the end, but the biggest weakness for the Raiders that I still see is the secondary.
Still have, it's very average right now. It's maybe even a little below average.
But with the loss of Casey Hayward, I would probably go with below average a little more.
With the Chandler Jones signing, we traded away Unique Ngakoue, got Rocky Sin. Mm-hmm. He's a average cornerback, and maybe he has a little upside to him. He's still on his rookie contract. Mm-hmm. But we still need that corner. There's a chance we get Stephon Gilmore.
That would be a big pickup.
There's talks that we offered him. But I'm really happy about Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams.
No, still great pickups. In the end, it's been a great free agency for the Raiders. I got to give you guys credit.
It's amazing because just the last thing I want to say, Max Crosby, #1 in pressures this year, but struggles to get that sack.
Yep.
You bring in the dude who is #1 in sacks since 2012.
Bingo.
To pair up with someone who gets pressure, and they're on two opposite sides.
Bingo.
Raiders are now scary, and for the first time since I've been alive, I've been able to watch the Raiders. This will be the first year where I think we actually have a chance to go far. This is the first year that has a chance, and I'm excited about that. Now,
here's the thing too, and the one thing I gotta say, I don't know if it's transitioning to what you were about to say.
What were you about to say?
Well, I was gonna say that the Raiders, this is a great move because you have to match fire with fire.
That's what
and especially with how strong that AFC West has been getting.